Thank you very much. Good morning, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge from Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. We are tracking back on understanding cosmic ray and understanding inertia, because the inertia we talk about in the further development of our soul in place, time, position becomes the gravitational field for beginning of a star, a galaxy, even as part of the soul of the creator, which is the central energy of the whole creation. We have to understand how inertia works, and what we call inertia and what we call gravity. We have inertia, as we know, on a planetary system. We talk about inertia in a deep scientific way as a pulling power of the majority of time the solid state matter part of this planet. What we call gravity is effective in the dimension of the plasma. Inertia is effective in the dimension of manifestation. One is a totalitarian, which means it covers everything in totality, and one is regional. You have an inertia of matter state where when the energy of the what we call cosmos comes in touch with a mass of energy fields of what we call manifestation, changes from one state to another. Does not need to be necessarily changing, for example, from a cosmic ray in interaction with the plasma field of the earth to a matter state. It is in space, in the space gap between the stars, have inertia. So what it does, it creates a conversion to point of manifestation. In this area, this is what you're going to see. It's very much like you come from all over the country to a beach, and at the beach, you go in a swimsuit, you go in bikinis. So this is how you manifest yourself here. This is your inertia of the environment of here. The ground hasn't changed, but the intention of manifestation has changed. And this inertia will play a huge role in conversion of the transmutation to matter state transfer. It has a borderline. It has a feeding time. When you travel in the dimension of the soul of the man, in transmuting, and then you convert into the matter state inertia of the place, you will feel the change. The emotion of the soul of the man, or the emotion of the physicality of man to convert to the soul of emotion, will feel the change. This is a sensation. Those of you who go through it, you know when is the conversion from the inertia of the matter state manifestation, or what we call presentation manifestation, into the inertia of the soul. It is not that you change from matter to energy. You change the what we call inertia from one to another. You dilute one into another. Inertia of the manifestation is like a grain of sugar, and what we call the inertia of the cosmic rays, the inertia of the soul of the universe or soul of the man, is that water, hot water. Even so, you dilute from one into another. Then when you dilute it, it's time when we get the sea water and we let it dry and we get those grain of salt from it. There is no difference in understanding. One needs the warmer water to dilute into, to convert its inertia to a higher, and then one it needs from the higher to reduce or convert into matter state at that grain of salt. We do it. We call it the sugar candies. We change a grain of sugar, dilute it in the water, and then we use that water. We change the condition of it very slowly, and becomes that when you hang a string on it, attach itself to a string and becomes sugar candy. This is the state of your soul. Inertia, different inertia condition. In the condition of matter state, we call it dilution. But in fact, in the deep scientific knowledge, you have to cover everything under one language. That then you decide if you're talking about the matter space dilution, you talk about the inertia in the cosmos, you talk about the dilution in the, what we call a galaxy, and the rest of it. But the advantage with those of you who understand this, and mankind, when it becomes more wiser to this, is that the soul of the man knows the strength of the dilution. It wants to convert to that inertia of the presentation, manifestation. In a way, when you change from the man matter state, you have the emotion of the man controlling. Then when you are in that energy state dilution back to matter state, is the emotion of the soul of the man which dictates. Even though the emotion of the soul of the man itself is diluted within the emotion of the universe. When your soul departs, when you try to do a transmutation, when it comes at the point of death, that soul of the man becomes diluted in the space of the universe, what we call soup of cosmic rays. And then, as is intact with each other, at a certain given time and place and position, the fields of the universe converts it, gives it back the inertia of the manifestation. In that place and point, you become a seed of a star. You become a dust in the space of the universe because of your conduct. And if knowledge seekers understand the connection to the emotion and the manifestation and connection of that emotion to the what we call the inertia of the fields, then mankind enters a new dimension of transmutation, manifestation. We fight today to go from one point of this planet to another. We spend hours on the plane, we spend days on ships, and every other way to go from one place to another. But you crash. You have car accident in that thing, the plane crashes, the ship sinks, and the rest of it. This cannot happen at the point of the transmutation of the soul of the man in the space soup of the cosmic ray of the universe. It cannot crash into another star. It cannot do whatever happened because it carries the emotion of the inertia of the essence of the cosmic rays, which is, in a way, cannot be touched. It's diluted, it's protected. It is within the realm of connection of the hydrogen, connected to the field, the strength of the soul of the creator. Then you as knowledge seekers can understand. Then you knowledge seekers have to strive to understand that inertia of the matter. Then you understand what it means when we go back to the basic of the teaching, when we change the matter to energy and energy back to matter. In a way, we change the inertia, field strength of the matter state to dilute in the dimension of cosmic rays, what we call inertia, gravitational field strength. The boundaries in your boxes of CO2 is the magnetic field strength of the water. Why do you think we use water in production of the gases? Not to give you CO2, not to give you H2, whatever you add, CH3, is to free that hydrogen. Then connect it to what you call CO2 to become part of the energy absorption, to become the connection of the fields into the inertia of the plasma and not matter state. And hydrogen stays the connection between all the bits of gases you have in that water. You have the energy of the copper. Then you have the water. You get the CO2. What happens to hydrogen? Hydrogen becomes that inertial connection between every single gas particle in your gas material. There is no difference between that single gas and a galaxy and a star in the soup of the field's cosmic ray inertia of the universe. The water becomes that soup of inertia of the universe. inertia, different inertial condition. In the condition of matter state, we call it dilution. But in fact, in the deep scientific knowledge, you have to cover everything under one language. That then you decide if you're talking about the matter space dilution, you talk about the inertia in the cosmos, you talk about the dilution in what we call a galaxy and the rest of it. But the advantage with those of you who understand this, and mankind, when it becomes more wiser to this, is that the soul of the man knows the strength of the dilution. It wants to. Those grain of salt from it. There is no difference in understanding. One needs the warmer water to dilute into, to convert its inertia to a higher, and then one it needs from the higher to reduce or convert into matter state of that grain of salt. We do it. We call it the sugar candies. We change a grain of sugar, dilute it in the water, and then we use that water. We change the condition of it very slowly, and becomes that when you hang a string on it, attach itself to a string and becomes sugar candy. This is the state of your soul, inertia, different inertial condition. In the condition of matter state, we call it dilution. But in fact, in the deep scientific knowledge, you have to cover everything under one language. That then you decide if you're talking about the matter space dilution, you talk about the inertia in the cosmos, you talk about the dilution in what we call a galaxy and the rest of it. But the advantage with those of you who understand this, and mankind, when it becomes more wiser to this, is that the soul of the man knows the strength of the dilution. It wants to convert to that inertia of the presentation, manifestation. In a way, when you change from the man matter state, you have the emotion of the man controlling. Then, when you are in that energy state dilution back to matter state, is the emotion of the soul of the man which dictates. Even though the emotion of the soul of the man itself is diluted within the emotion of the universe. When your soul departs, when you try to do a transmutation, when it comes at the point of death, that soul of the man becomes diluted in the space of the universe, what we call soup of cosmic rays. And then, as is intact with each other, at a certain given time and place and position, the fields of the universe converts it, gives it back the inertia of the manifestation. In that place and point, you become a seed of a star. You become a dust in the space of the universe because of your conduct. And if knowledge seekers understand the connection to the emotion and the manifestation and connection of that emotion to the what we call the inertia of the fields, then mankind enters a new dimension of transmutation, manifestation. We fight today to go from one point of this planet to another. We spend hours on the plane, we spend days on ships, and every other way to go from one place to another. But you crash. You have car accident, that thing, the plane crashes, the ship sinks, and the rest of it. This cannot happen at the point of the transmutation of the soul of the man in the spacesuit of the cosmic ray of the universe. It cannot crash into another star. It cannot do whatever happened because it carries the emotion of the inertia of the essence of the cosmic rays, which is, in a way, cannot be touched. It's diluted, it's protected. It is within the realm of connection of the hydrogen, connected to the field, the strength of the soul of the creator. Then you as knowledge seekers can understand. Then you knowledge seekers have to strive to understand that inertia of the matter. Then you understand what it means when we go back to the basic of the teaching, when we change the matter to energy and energy back to matter. In a way, we change the inertia, field strength of the matter state to dilute in the dimension of cosmic rays, what we call inertia, gravitational field strength. The boundaries in your boxes of CO2 is the magnetic field strength of the water. Why do you think we use water in production of the gases? Not to give you CO2, not to give you H2, whatever you add, CH3, is to free that hydrogen. Then connect it to what you call CO2 to become part of the energy absorption, to become the connection of the fields into the inertia of the plasma and not matter state. And hydrogen stays the connection between all the bits of gases you have in that water. You have the energy of the copper. Then you have the water. You get the CO2. What happens to hydrogen? Hydrogen becomes that inertial connection between every single gas particle in your gas material. There is no difference between that single gas and a galaxy and a star in the soup of the field's cosmic ray inertia of the universe. The water becomes that soup of inertia of the universe. Hydrogen keeps the connection between the matter state in the water and a plasma cosmic state in the gas. Two living within each other in a two state of the inertia of the universe. Have you ever wondered why you manage to see gases, but in the liquid state? That liquid state in your boxes is the cosmos, is containment of the unicos. And every particle you see as a gans inside manifests itself according to the inertia which the totality of the ganses have shown, decided to connect to through the hydrogen field strength for those hydrogens which already detach from the molecules of the water. If you look deep into the structure of the ganses in the condition of the containment of the water, if you make composition of ganses, don't mix them, create a composite gans, then you see this much better. You see the space gap where the hydrogen in interaction with the inertial mass of the gans dictates the space gap. This is what I explain in the book number 3, where I show in a tube different layers of different colors of ganses, that they stay separate. If you don't understand this transmutation, if you don't understand the play game of the inertia, get yourself a composite gans. But this time, put it in a natural oil and see how it behaves. You see how it behaves different than when the gans is in the water. The oil and the gans, the water, create two different dimensions of the inertia of the environment, even though the same soul. Then you understand how we work with the structure of the life in the unicos. We don't have oils, we don't have waters, but we understand the composition of the difference between the what we call the inertia of different states of the matter. In a way, if you look at it, you have the inertia in the matter state, the water, the oil, the whatever else, layered on top of each other. Each layer in what we call cosmic ray inertia of the magnetic gravitational field is different field strength, separation, manifestation, inertia. If you're Italian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you go, first thing you do in the Italian restaurant, they put balsamic oil, balsamic vinegar and olive oil on the table. What do? You put it on a plate, and then you watch the shine, you watch the light, and add a drop of lemon in it, and add a drop of water in it. You see the separation. This is exactly what happens. This is what we call cosmic inertia. In world of the science, we call it different density, different whatever. But in fact, if you transfer to the what we call the energy state of the water, energy state of the lemon, energy state of the balsamic vinegar, and the energy of the oil, you will get exactly the same structure as what you get in transmutation of the field of the soul of the man in traveling one between the other. It's an interesting experiment. Try to do it. It teaches you a lot about understanding how your soul will manifest itself in a given place and position according to your conduct, according to the emotion. Because the cosmic ray of the creation in the dimension of the unicos has the emotion connection to the soul of the man. Criminal souls go up away from the love of the Creator. Those who serve, does not matter as a cat, as an ant, as a man, have their own position according to the emotion. Everybody thinks you're charitable and everything else, and you're such a good man as a priest, and you're pedophile behind the altar. The soul is aware of that emotion which you have created in your victims, gives the position of the emotion of your soul. Now you know how you are convicted. Now you know what is the day of judgment, that no one knows except you. And this is the whole essential of the world of creation. If you understand how your emotion, your conduct, through the emotion of the universe, through the connection of the hydrogen cosmic ray, find its position and how it operates, and where your soul shall be. It's no good to be lovely, doubly, and such a good priest that abuse the child in the back in the altar. The soul has registered. The emotion of the child, his emotion of abuse, sits in your emotion, and then that has to handle itself in the emotion of the universe that you cannot cheat, cannot buy, cannot do nothing with. And this is the day of judgment. Many of you, not understanding this, trying to go through the transmutation, you'll find out you end up in the hell of what we call, in the language of the priest, in the far distance from the position of the emotion of the Creator. Maybe now you understand how you decide your conduct and your place in the best of to be. The emotion, the inertia, and the condition of the cosmic rays, and what we call the universal cosmic ray inertia, gravitational magnetic field, is the dictator of yours. And if in your time of transmutation you make a mistake, and in fact your emotion is wrong, that the soul is aware of, sorry, you do not end. If you go back to the teachings, somewhere in the teaching I have said in the past, those who are criminals will not be able to enter the spaceship because the souls will not allow it. Now you understand why, after years of teaching. It's the same with transmutation. To transmute, because you become part of the soul of the universe, you have to be clean, you have to be clear, you have to be untouched, you have not to have any stain on your life in the dimension of the living. It does not come by, I did good and bad, I stole a piece of cheese and I gave it to somebody else which was hungry. Robin Hood does not work in the dimension of robbing and having a hood on, covering yourself in the conduct of the disguise of misconduct, in the dimension of inertia of the emotion of the soul. If knowledge seekers understand this, then you know why you cannot transmute. You have to understand the dimension of the inertia of the emotion of the life, your existence. Then you understand why some people transmute, why some people can transfer, and some people try all the hardest, because your soul keeps you away from harming yourself. You have not managed to reach the dimension of the emotion, and with it, you cannot create the inertia of manifestation to dilute into the what we call dimension of your own soul. Is not matter of not being able to get on a UFO, it's a matter of you cannot transfer the energy of your spirit to become the energy of the soul of the man, which becomes part of the soul of the creation. Man dies and lives his physicality on this planet because of this reason. Very few, very few, very few created things which cannot do because of the weight of the crimes of the man from time of birth. That grain of rice, that bite of the flesh of the lamb, that killing of another animal piles up in the dimension of the emotion, inertia of manifestation. The children of Mitra do not have this problem because from the essence of the creation, they are furnished with the love, with the connection, with the inertial energy of the hydrogen of the creation and the creator. Even though the mankind will try from the time of birth to stain them to be the same as us, to feed them with the flesh of their life on this planet. Goes back to understanding that innocent souls are not responsible for the misconduct in what they're put through. If, as knowledge seekers, you understand the teaching of today, you have choice. And your choice is by you and nobody else, and it's only within you. Change your ways or understand what is the path to the world of the creation in the true essence inertia of the cosmic rays, cosmic gravitational magnetic rays, cosmic magnetic gravitational emotion, and the inertia. Then you understand how to go. If you understood this, then you understand why you disdain your son gives you the cancer of prostate, why your hate for your daughter gives you the breast cancer, why the emotion of loving a man betraying you gives this breast cancer on which side. Then you understand how the emotion of inertia of the what we call spirit of the man affects the manifestation of the physicality of the man, where the soul does not allow this to happen in the dimension of its inertia. When mankind understands its totality, mankind will change to be part of what we call the criminal act of life, not only on this planet, but beyond. Is that you're trying to walk into the spaceship and will not be able to do physically push, soul cannot. Because in the dimension of the UFO's transportation of the universe is the soul which has the ticket, not the physicality. Now you might understand it's the same when you do the transportation. Once you understand and you feel the emotion of understanding, you come one step closer to be able to transmute in the dimension of the creation and not push the pedal and jump and fly and swim across the waters of the universe. That takes millions of years. The other one takes not even a second. It's you who decides what I call the journey barefoot, crossing the matter state, or understanding the joy of the flight through the fly fantasy of the soul of the man. The option is man's choice. Understand your emotion, understand what changes the inertia of the emotion, understand how you can trade this with the emotion of the soul of the man, the soul of the universe, and the soul of the creator. Now you understand how you can jump directly into the soul of the creator. Don't need no transmutation, as you have chosen the dimension and not the dilution matter itself. Understand this, you have found the key to access directly to the soul of your creator. We are just the teachers. We show the path. It is you who chooses the path. We go for a break and we come back. And we carry on answering the questions. The burden of the choice is on the man and his soul, and not on the Creator. The day of judgment is in the hand of the man. Now he is aware of the knowledge as of today. Rick, take us for a break and we come back.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Okay, we'll have a short break here. Okay, we're back again at the 638th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, April 16th, 2026. So, as promised, we are in the second part, and will be an opportunity to ask questions. First, of course, we have a few announcements from Mr. Kesh, no doubt. So please go ahead, Mr. Kesh.
Yes, thank you very much. The most important announcement is the session for tomorrow is delayed to the last Friday of this week. The systems are not ready, and as we are testing, we hopefully have it ready by in the 14 days time that we can test. It's the what you call technical, and as we are testing this for the first time, we have to get it right. And when the systems are ready, because other things were getting developed, this could not be completed. So your session tomorrow is changed to the end of the month, last Friday of this month.
Mr. Kesh, the last Friday would be the 24th. April 30th is on Thursday. There's only 30 days in April.
Oh, so we go in the 1st of May.
1st of May, okay.
May Day, bank holiday, yes. So we jump it because there's no use just putting it because we want to do something. It has to be done correctly. We can put you on the old system to be done. We want to try the new system because this brings a new dimension and brings the work of the, what we call a new game system into operation for us, that we can start amalgamating other parts into it, and one day we succeed to do everything through one part. Essentially, we are working still. Hopefully, I was looking at the hardware part of the system to mass load the what you call ONNs, which now is getting done in the service center. We should be ready in about 5 or 10 days, hopefully. And those who are responsible in setting it up, it allows us to mass load huge numbers to reach the 8,000. I'm hoping that personally Keshe Foundation, or whatever shortfall we have in ONNs, to complete by end of this year, that the foundation will finance this process, which means we purchase whatever is needed up to 10,000 units, 8,000 units around the world to be financed by the foundation, and we give it as a gift out. It's our plan. There are a lot of things happening. We need a lot of support to get this achieved. But this way, we don't wait for, we push the unification of the coins, which are backbone of our new structure. And I've committed myself into this. Even if it means we delay the financing of certain research, we finance the creation of the, what we call the network for our people who are working so hard to bring this to become a reality. And we cannot wait for somebody to give. If you have, you can help us to buy as many as we can to donate to reach that 10,000 points. Otherwise, foundation has to use delay projects and everything else to finance this, because with this, we will have the dimension of financing the others. The reason is we are looking at the structure as you convert your coins in the game to reality of the coins in the structure of the, what we call cash coin we can faster bring the governments to accept this changes they may have between the currencies of today and as is locked to the same. It changes a lot of things. I have certain ideas of how to get it done, but we have to have the coins in our hand that we can complete what we want to do. Getting governments to stop playing because the benefits, but we have to structure it that the benefit is there. And so the ONN systems, our target is to have the whole 10,000 once this, what we call units are completed by the end of this year, and maybe sometime in next year financed by us, and not waiting for those of you who try to buy one or two. If you buy one or two for financing your own income, otherwise we have to do it. Otherwise we fall behind what we planned. As I said, the center is getting set up, and if need be, we move more to be able to accommodate more. We have a priority to set up who has more access to it, the government, the companies, or what we call the users. But this should be sorted in the next 2 or 3 years, gradually, as we learn more and more ourselves. So if you can help us to faster bring the ONNs into operation now, the central system, it took us over 3-4 months, and I was looking at the engineers, I received the pictures, setting up the loading system that multiple systems can be loaded at the same time. We are one step closer in the next few weeks to complete the mass delivery of the what we call the ONNs that we can bring the governments into operation. I was explaining this to a knowledge seeker in the past few days. When we bring the ONNs into operation and we stay in charge of it, we keep monitoring it, we block the companies who are in arms dealing, drug trafficking. Interesting position has risen that those of you who are with us know exactly what I mean, that we start teaching non-knowledge seekers with the knowledge of our technology. We have tried this once or twice in the past couple of weeks, that knowledge seekers teach our employees about the technology and how they can use it. We start doing the same with the governments, how to use the coins, the cash coins, and how to get, as was suggestion of the developers. You want to use our coins, you get your staff to play the game. In a way, teaching peace and combination and coordination with it. And it's interesting to see how things change gradually next year or two. We are structuring it in a way that the Keshe Foundation does not need to look for any handouts in next year or two. It becomes self-sufficient, financing, technology developing, coordination, and running the structure. We see and we control. There must be a mechanism said that no governments can use the Keshe Foundation coins to pay for arms, weapons. A red dot appears in the structure. No organization which employs people to make weapons can join as part of the cash coin, the structure, not even their employees, is a blackout. They have to choose the choice, and that becomes very much morality. I see a lot of conflict in the house, the children playing the game, and the father works in the arm factory. Then you understand. We see the situation, we see what I call the structure. And all needs to be set up with the operation of the game and everything else, and it won't happen overnight. We're battling it for 6 months, we're just getting there, and this battle to get the governments going has to be done in a different way that we all change, in a human way, not which currency is stronger that can dominate and create war, but which nation is more peaceful, that can more benefit for its citizens. And we all know we can be a peaceful nation outside, but we be developers of the worst arms in the world and the universe. So we have to learn. We have learned our lessons in the human race, and this structure of the coins will bring the change. And to do it, we need to literally push the delivery of their own ends. As we produce wealth through what we call work of the foundation, it takes time. If it can support us to push this own ends through faster, now the structure is set, it'll bring a lot of things forward for us to get where we want to do, and then it goes with the rest of the structure of the Keshe Foundation work. Is there any questions?
Okay, thank you. I was wondering if there's any countries of the world that are in the position that they're willing or able to give up arms. I'm just thinking that every developed country uses arms as part of their economy, basically.
They are pushing it. Americans are pushing to sell arms, create wars and everything else. There's a push. If it goes through in the next 48 hours, the state of Israel will be requested to be expelled from United Nations. If this gathers momentum, we see half of the world peace coming forward. There is a work in the background in the United Nations. The initiative of the expelling the state of Israel out of United Nations, which brings a lot of problem for it, is initiated by the state of Iran for the crimes in Lebanon. And if we get to that point, if we push and start the emotion of kicking Israel out of the United Nations, it becomes a stateless position, which is very possible. We need to gather momentum internationally that the people put pressure on the government. It might take 5 or 10 years. Then we might see the beginning of peace. There is a motion, tables at the United Nations in the next few hours, if they get it right, or they're starting the process, that the government of Iran in the United States will put forward to expel the state of Israel from the world community of nations for the crimes they've done and they're doing. This will literally gives back the whole position different way. People, if Iran's motion takes place in the United Nations, if Iran gathers enough energy to do it, or votes to do it, just to bring it on the table, not to get it passed, that starts a roll bowling, and the expel of Israel as the first state ever to be kicked out of the United Nations, then we will see a lot of changes in peace. 80-90% of the wars in past decades is backed by Americans, backed by the Israelis and the Rothschild. And through the cash coin and through certain works, we will see all be sidelined. You see, when you have somebody who creates problem, to try to find a way, you have thieves outside breaking into your house, you put barricades, you put fences, you put everything else, you find a deterrent system that they can't. And this has become the shape of the world today. The most heinous nation's government of the United States has got into the cycle of developing the latest technologies to kill, to destroy. And the other nations have to keep up with it. Once we dismantle the state of Israel, once we dismantle the structure within the American structure, world peace is reachable. And we have set up a plan for it. It'll take time, but is achievable and can be done. And you'll see step by step how the situation will change and how we need to understand the work of the what we call the cash coins, the structure of the game, creating a different environment of peace and be able to deliver it. And the first steps, the first products to bring into this will be done in the next few weeks once our team in the background with the what we call enlightenment games are ready. We bring you, all of you, into the process of selling, buying products. It doesn't matter, you're a reseller of the Keshe Foundation, you're an individual selling your product. We give you a platform in the games where you decide how much coin you want change for what you provide. In a way, what we call the Amazon of peace in the Keshe Foundation store. You people who come to shop have to play the game of peace to have the coins. And with it, we provide other things. And next 5 or 10 years, gradually we change the situation. And you don't need to shop. You buy what you need at the point of what you need, what is produced through what we call knowledge seekers, the technology and the rest of it. Every revolution needs ignition, and we have put that ignition into operation as of this past 2 or 3 years. The coins, the ONN system, and the operation of the Keshe Foundation independent research centers, production of materials where you actually buy coins. At the moment, if you are knowledge seekers in China, we can provide you with the products which daily we are discarding. We can sell you the product through the Keshe Foundation if you buy Keshe coins and you start supporting. We can list in the next 2 or 3 weeks the products you can buy on a daily basis, your daily, what we call food to purchase through the Keshe Foundation. Some is going through the process of the initial development of what they call a product, and some which are already through the GANS production system. So the first nation to be able to exchange their coins with cash coins with product will be the state of China. We can do this in the next 7 days. The products are getting produced to go into the full plasma condition, and you can buy across China the Keshe Foundation products in exchange for cash coin. You play games, you buy your vegetables, your groceries through the Keshe Foundation, only through the state of China. In Chinese, the structure of the Keshe Foundation, even today in the next week, we can gradually offer you a structure through the Keshe Foundation International. You purchase your groceries slowly as the harvest comes in, and you pay us for what we don't sell as a harvest in cash coin. We have a started procedure. We'll be able to produce slowly in kilos and in tons every day. You place your order until the shop is open, till the structure is set. We accept our product in cash coin. We tell you the harvest, you pay for it, you buy our coins from the cash coin, and you support the change. Lettuces, tomatoes, cucumbers, Chinese herbal medicine in the coming time. And then gradually, if we able to export, you receive. Initially, the products are coming in halfway as the process going through half GANS production, and in the next month or 2, everything we produce, it will be only plasma energy, no fertilizer, nothing else. The Chinese community is given the first chance. We're bringing on the cultivation tens and tens of thousands of square meters in this production. It's already started. We are already harvesting, and as I said to our team, instead of disposing of the goods, put it into the market. If you're knowledge seekers in China, you want to support us, we'll put it up in the next few days in the Keshe Foundation, what we call in Austria. your possibility to buy cash coins or operate through the Chinese operation. You buy the coins from us in Austria, you place your orders with us in Austria, and we deliver the goods for you in China. We are a little bit expensive, but it's the purity of the material which you receive. We have entered the market. Tens of thousands of square meters is under cultivation. You receive your bags with the logo of the Keshe Foundation against plasma technology. It's taken months to bring it into operation. And our team has to get ready to create finances for the next step of development towards world peace. If you're Chinese, you know where to go to, but you have to go through the Keshe Foundation Austria for the time being to buy your coins, or you donate to your coins, and then you put your order with us. We give you what's available, and our team will deliver it to you, and we transfer the funds back to them for their operation to expand this position. At the moment, I think we can do about 30 to 100 kilo a week in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then we increase it to around about 500 kilograms per day. And slowly in June, July, we should be able to do 1 to 3 tons of different vegetables. If you are outside China, you still can buy cash coins and place your order. We cover the expenses and everything else we do internally, and we'll see if we can export it. We have to get the export licenses for our products out of China. This is the first phase of mass production of Keshe Foundation technology. In a few months' time, you can buy the waters, you can buy other products of the Keshe Foundation. But as we call the agricultural part of the Keshe Foundation, to start the use of coins as exchange for products is already on the card. And temporarily we use Austria till our shop store in the what we call the enlightenment game is fully operational. It will be transferred there, and your knowledge seekers, what you make, and you think, okay, I make good money from this. I want to exchange 3 or 10 pieces of my products with a coin payment. You can enter the market with us. And then you exchange your coins for other products with other knowledge seekers. And gradually we start. But the first product of the Keshe Foundation in exchange for cash coin is on the card. I have to get it all really set up in the next few days. And maybe by next Thursday, you can place your first orders to use cash coin in exchange for goods. And gradually we load it up. We have to look at the condition of how to exchange, because at the moment our production, a lot of it gets wasted because we're running trials. And instead of wasting it, you can help us in China to strengthen the power and the strength of the Keshe Foundation worldwide. You buy your lettuces, you buy in farms. All our products is purely plasma technology, from the seeding to the harvesting and packaging. Give us a week. We try to open this site through Austria. We can make arrangements that you get your goods in China, but somehow we get it across to you to do it, or one of you can do the payment by the coins in Europe, and we do the transfer back in China, and you receive the cash products in what we call agriculture. Everything will be labeled once it's completed with a Keshe Foundation, what we call agricultural international logo, which is different. None of you have seen it. It cannot be copied. It's been copyrighted and trademarked and everything else. And you can support the Keshe Foundation in what we call in development of the new technology goods in exchange for coins. You can play games, exchange it with us with coins, and shop from us through the products we put, the percentage of products we put for the time being for the cash coin exchange or for currency exchange. In the next few weeks, it'll be fully operational, but I try to get it done by next week that you can buy a cash coin and receive your harvest. We tell you what it is. Buy it in bulk, maybe 5 or 10 packs, and share it amongst yours, because then tell us how you feel emotionally once we tell you the product is 100% gas produced, which is we expect to have your tomatoes and cucumbers and the rest of it. And sometime in September, massive amount of Chinese harvestation, totally grown under condition of the Keshe Foundation plasma technology. We have tens of thousands of meters going under operation in the next 2, 3, 4 years. But the moment the first harvest will be out, we want to see how, as you Chinese knowledge seekers feel. In the next few weeks, we start releasing Keshe Foundation teas, which use the technology of Keshe Foundation in China at a special prices, and exactly like the first day harvest, which is the most expensive one, but halfway through, we will offer massive amount of tea leaves as the operation goes on. If you're a tea grower in China, systems have been developed that will be delivered to your farm, and you use drones or use a water irrigation system to get rid of the poison in tea leaves and convert them into operational pure teas. This allows China to export tea as a non-contaminator. Will change the world of the market gradually as we are there. The first units for this will be completed, delivered to the farms in this month, we hope. And then we sell on behalf of the farmer the products of the farms as against the first against tea. How does it change your emotion when you drink it? We try to get export license for it through purification. It takes us about a year to purify the plants. But as the leaves grow very rapidly, they always stay as like a first harvest, which is the most expensive part. But we want to know how the tea makes a difference for you Chinese. When you drink tea, which is harvested with a gas product. We have entered the market to bring the change, but the first nation for us is the nation of China. We trust, we work, and we invest heavily, and we have done today. I'll give you the list of products in agriculture gradually as the harvest comes in, and all harvest, once they carry the new label of the Keshe Foundation Cosmic Ray product, Cosmic Ray Energy product, will be 100% organs, will change your emotion, will elevate your soul, and you understand how peaceful you wake up. Enlightenment through the what we call the stomach of the man. Maybe next week we give you the first plans for the Chinese to buy. And gradually, as if it comes with a plain no label bag, it means it's in the process. Once you receive the ones with the blue label bag, means it's 100% gas production. You can support us, we can deliver. We have brought in huge amount of facilities to facilitate, and I thank those knowledge seekers who've been there solid supporting us. This gives our what we call research development finances to be able to change that process. And for the first time, you can change your cash coins for cash products. And other knowledge seekers, once the shop is open, you can choose, I want to sell 10% of my products with a coin exchange and put in reserve. One day I use it, or I exchange it with other knowledge seekers to get other products. The game of peace has started, and it's taken a lot of investment and time and hardship with a lot of people. And we keep the position as we have done, and I thank those knowledge seekers who work with us, solidly traveled across the world to be there, to help, to set up, and still working to bring the efficiency to it. Very much for being there, traveling half of the world. Some of you are on the plane in, and some of you are on the plane out, and you're going back to your families and leaving your families to support this. The structure in China is international collection of knowledge seekers' work. It's not Chinese. It's combination of the work of the Chinese knowledge seekers, Chinese nation, what we call support of the locals, and ever flow of the knowledge seekers who stood with us and flying in and out according to what we need, leaving their families for weeks and days to bring the knowledge and expertise. And the process started. Actually started months ago. Now we see the first harvest and more products will come in. You can exchange your coins for products, first of all, in the nation of China, as we bring tens of thousands of meters into operation and harvesting, and then gradually we expand to the other part of the world in the next 12 months and 18 months. And we have to see how we can export these products to outside China for cash coin in exchange for product. It's our own product, we dictate it, we produce it, and it's done by the hand of the knowledge seekers. We have knowledge seekers who left their nations, they left their home to bring the reality to your dreams. And now it's real. And it needs time to grow, to become a mass production in the other things. And gradually we build up the structure. Even in the coming time, the light used to grow your products, the energy used to grow your product will come directly through the plasma, not even the current state of today's energy. It's well equipped, it's well set, and as I said, I thank those knowledge seekers who flew in and out for past months supporting us, leaving their families behind to bring the present stage and the future stages of development of the delivery of the World Peace Program. You can shop in Cash Coin most probably by next Thursday through the Austrian Cash Foundation. If you cannot do it, you can still pay for it. We distribute it to those who need in China for the time being, but it gives us the support to do our work. Any question?
We have a hand up with Francisca, but before that, let me ask a question from Azenchin in YouTube. Seems appropriate. Is the purpose of the game to create cultural awareness of the existence of the Maghreb plasma science, or is there an underlying field transfer mechanism as well for it?
Both. Both. Your ONNs in a full operational mode, when we have everything running, will work on not the internet. It will work on what we call universal communication line, with the connected with the what we call the headquarters of the Cash Foundation operation. The way we do the Friday sessions, that you receive both. We, maybe in the long run, maybe in the next, let's say 6 months, a year, 2 years, when you play the game, you get fed. So people come in to play the game to receive food, energy. We can't do that. And we already done that. In the trials we've done in the past 2 years, we have already achieved that. But now we have to literally go into more details and more specification, develop new antennas, which is getting, even this morning before I come to you, the new antennas which carry energy information connection to the what we call plasma of hydrogen, just getting developed. Because while we are talking, that stage is getting done in the labs. If you read my emails minutes before I come online this morning, that phase of antennas, transfer of energy and using the what we call universal cosmic rays in the dimension of the hydrogen is done, is getting developed. We have reached the stage that, if you remember, we set up a elaborate system exactly a year ago, 10, 11, 12 of May of last year, in producing material. Now we can produce the same material in a static condition without any problem. Which means this is a lot of work and a lot of research, and it needs to be understood, but we can produce what we produced in what we call in Beijing last year. We're setting up those dynamic systems with a static system, totally the way it's done in the universe, more or less. We produce, if you remember, gold, and your knowledge seekers came to take the spoonful of it. Now we are reaching what we call knowledge has reached a position that we don't need that dynamic system anymore. We do not need to do, we produce the same materials, the same composition, with a new knowledge of the plasma cosmic ray technology. You sit in front of it and you watch it to be made. I send you, because I cannot, let me see if I can share. Rick, I'll send you a couple of pictures. You can show it, and then you understand how far the technology has changed in the matter of what we call creation of matter. We control now matter through understanding of cosmic ray plasma energy transfer. Rick, I'll send these 3 pictures to you. Use the first one, or put all 3 of them back on one by one on your link with me. Then you understand how we have reached the knowledge that the dynamic transfer of conversion. Have you received them?
Yes, just got it here. Let me.
The plain one, show first, and then one that's got a line on it, and then use a full yellow one. Show them in that sequence. This is the first one, is the raw material. We haven't used anything. We just understand the process of the cosmic ray in the structure and how the matter uses the hydrogen as a cosmic ray communication and transfer of energy. And then you understand, some of you send us, oh, we can transmute tones and this is all finished. This technology can be used by any nation with a handful of dollars. You can produce gold, you can produce silver, but we have to complete the cycle very, very thoroughly. And it's in the process. Now it's getting done. Can you reach it? Can you change your screen?
Yes, and just, I think by plain, you mean the white one, right?
Yeah, the clear one here. This is the original material. You can see. Show the second one with a line on it.
Just let me get that set up here.
Then you see it's not just the whole material. Now we understand the technology. Our team has to go to the next step of transferring this into what you call your headphones that you receive with this, the emotion of the material. They're not very far, maybe another few weeks. But then we can transfer, add, overload the emotion with the material. So when you receive the apple, you get the emotion of the apple. You can see the gold line. That's the same material. It took elaborate structure 12 months ago to show in China. And the test by the laboratory says we produce so many materials in parallel as part of the confirmation of the presence of the gold. Go to the next one, please. You can see these are plates. These are not just small pieces. And we are repeating the same. You can see what you call gold. But our work is, now that we can produce these, we change these to overload with emotion. It'll take us maybe 6 months, maybe 6 weeks. It's just that how our team understands the next phase. Then I can make this to be the energy of the apple with the emotion of joy of love. And then we have those transmitters, what we call the cosmic antennas, which you'll receive in due course with your own ends. Then in the house, when you play the game, you always subconsciously, I'm hungry. You dig into our system through the cosmic rays to satisfy, I wish I had a pizza. And that brings me peace. You create the emotion. We have the emotion matching in our system. You touch your pizza. I wonder in the future, which companies come up with different apps with the emotion and the taste of different things, and see what the combination you feel. Oh, I don't want to, I want sick when I hear it, or I would like to taste of a new thing. As I said, it'll be like in UK, if you live there, a lot of you know, you can go to a pizza place with a Mars bar on a pizza, with a Chinese mix with the Indian taste. So you don't actually have a pizza anymore. You have a mixture of different cultures on the same pizza. Now we can do that with the conversion of energy, because we established the knowledge of absorbing energy to convert into taste. If you remember, in one of the tests we told you how to taste an apple, or did you taste the orange, or did you taste the honey? Those tests were not just a dream, something we wanted to do. It's today's decision. Now we can backload, let's say, zinc or magnesium or copper, you're short of, but it comes with the emotion of eating an apple. We have it with the taste of creating love and devotion. You just touch the app and you get it. And this costs a few dollars and doesn't need a huge table. It can be done, and it'll be mass produced in the coming weeks and months for the next stage of development. And you can see how the audience have to go into the market. This is why we need millions to get these. And the price we started is nearly tripled now when we started doing, because of the wars, because of the sanctions, because of the cuts. The computer chips, the memory chips has gone up beyond. With 3,000 you pay us more or less, does not even cover anything anymore by the look of it. Once we start producing, mass producing, we have to buy the chips, unless we go into the dimension of the next 2 years, most probably, creating what we call plasmatics chips, microchips or plasma chips, which is feasible, but our team in the research centers, which we are opening up, have to build these layers to be done. Now you can see when I tell you in the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation, what you see is not even 5% of what we do in the background. We open your eyes into some of the development of research today. Any other question? You can change the screen. Do you have any other question? I think your microphone is off, Rick, if you're talking.
Oh, just let me get my screen up here. Just bear with me a second. There we go. Okay, yes. Well, let's go to Francisca. Allow you to speak. Please go ahead.
Me?
Yes, we hear you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe, for having me again. I don't know whether it fits well now. It's a more general question about creation. Reading The Origin of the Universe, I wondered if this cosmic ray just meets fields, isn't it just a random process of creation that happens? How can there be intention in creation with this ray meeting arbitrary fields and reflecting on itself? So how can I make myself after my image?
The ray of the sun, or the energy which leaves the sun, has no identity.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the energy. When it hits the Earth atmosphere, and by different strength of the fields, it gets chopped up to different pieces or packages. Mm-hmm. Then, in interaction with the inertia of the Earth, it gets identity of its copper, its water, or whatever. It has no identity till literally comes in touch with the inertia. Example of it is, you fly a few kilometers or a few hundred meters from the surface of the Earth, and the temperature drops to 0 and -50. And so then you come close, through the inertia, it creates heat, converts into the matter. The matter conversion happens in the last 50 to 100 meters close to the Earth. So the inertia of the Earth decides in that position what to be collected. If it's not in it, it will not be. It rotates, it flows to the next step. It's the same with the soul. Your intention, your emotion decides the energy that comes from cosmos. What does it become? Part of the cell of my heart, part of the emotion of love, part of anything else, because 80% of your energy comes from cosmos, 20% you consume. So this is where the conversion comes. Your soul, the need of your, what you call physical need, by your the two glands, which is like a butterfly replication of the glands, which a lot of you just doctors talk about, what do you call it? They are there. If you lose it, you lose sleep, you get cancer of it, this happens, that happens. Even if you take this gland out, because the environment of it's there, it does a conversion. This is why it's in the neck and it's in the shape of butterfly. It's a copy of your brain. Conversion of the cosmic ray into the matter state, which comes the rest of your body.
And so there's no creator in this, is it?
No, it's the conversion which you set your inertia according to the glands just under your throat, like a butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
And that decides the physical conversion of the energy which comes from the cosmos in your physical body. And world of science has no knowledge of this. It's just a gland. What do you call it? What do you call that butterfly gland?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why is it? Pardon?
No, it has no name in science.
It has a name. We all do it. It's one of the few glands.
Thyroid, I believe you.
Exactly. It's the only gland in the body of the man which is converter of cosmic ray energy through the emotion to the need of the physicality. That's why it's positioned. Your head is operated. Your brain is a system for your soul. That's all it does. And then converts that with this gland to the physical dimension. This is why it's placed there between the operation of the soul, operation of the physicality. It's the converter, it's the inertia conversion of the cosmic ray and the emotion together.
So it's a co-creation then. It's a co-creation between what's coming in and what I convert.
Yeah, and then what you give back. Because you cannot, if you look at it this way, it's very simple. If you eat too much, you get too fat.
Yes.
Yeah. So imagine if you absorb all the energies you absorbed and convert into the body, you'll be like God knows Empire State by the time you get to yes. So this gland dictates what needs to go, what to come. We only understand or understood up to now the physical operation of this gland, and they put a lot of things to it. But in fact, is the source of the conversion. In plasmatic condition of it in the body of the man, is the converter position dictated into the plasma of the lymph of the body, what to convert, where to convert the cosmic rays into the cell of the body of the man. The feeding side provides the energy of matter state. This gland provides the cosmic ray energy consumption. And if you touch it, and the only time we see it is when the soul of the man, where the part where we do our voice, is emotion of it, lack of it, emotion of the destruction of the touching of the soul, it manifests itself with the damage to this gland on its own. We see, it's very common, research has shown over decades, women who get raped by or get violated in any shape or form by holding their throat, where this gland has been under pressure, lead to the cancer of the gland.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Most of the girls who are raped or attacked with holding the throat, in a due course show cancer, because the energy conversion from the cosmic to matter state cannot happen. It manifests itself as a tumor. Energy holds it. It's one of the most important glands, and even if you take it out, because traditionally doctors say they don't say they operate on it, but because it's an energy converter, is space still carries the information. If you know how to put a system into it, the gland will grow, manifest itself again as there was nothing happened before.
That's great.
Well, I'm going to show this. I have personally worked on this gland 15, 20 years ago and converted it and understand exactly how it works. We had a victim of, the most advanced nation in the world, America. A lot of girls get raped in the campuses. They're so human. The most animal nation in the world calls itself the most human. This girl was raped in the campus in the university. Within 6 months, she showed the cancer. They operated. We moved her from the United States into Europe. And we went through the post-application foundation. She had no choice. She even had to stay awake using tablets.
Yeah.
Spent 10 days back in US. Now she's actually a psychologist helping only the top management in the structure of all the top companies in America. Because she's a psychologist on the emergency as one of the top doctors in America. She's Iranian. If you have a Microsoft top management going crazy, she's the one who gets them to put them back on the track. They end up on her desk. All the top management in White House, in Microsoft, in Apple, when they go nuts in the stock market, they land on her desk. She knows what to do because she learned emotion. I taught her everything.
Is there anything we can do to improve this converting process of our pineal gland?
By emotion. By emotion. And then you learn how to, if you look at the position of it, it's placed with the heart and the soul. Heart handles the physical condition. Soul handles the energy condition. And this is why specifically it's positioned in that place. It works through the energy of the heart. not the flow of the what they call the liquid in the heart. I was listening to one of our beloved knowledge seekers. I have so much respect for him. Parvis, Dr. Parvis, has a recording on how the doctors have found 40,000 emotional cells in the heart of the man and how these work. If you find Dr. Parvis's recording on the internet, listen to it. It's amazing how he explains it. And then you understand how the emotion of the heart through the emotion of the brain is connected. And now if you understand the work of this gland, how we convert the energy of emotion to physical dimension of the matter, cancers and everything else from the energy of the universe. Look for Dr. Parvis Rashmand teachings, videos. He started a new series on the internet. And you learn a lot about holistic angles of understanding. He's one of our best knowledge seekers. Then he puts it in a lot of work. You understand?
Yes, yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I try to I send you the link in Dr. Parvis's work. Listen to it. He's amazing. He's one of the most amazing knowledge seekers. And he's a Earth Council member. I'll send you the link, put it up and listen to what he says and to part of his work. Is on your, what do you call it? It's on, Rick, where are you? You can put this up as a link, especially when he speaks about the heart and other things. I posted it for you. And then you understand now, if you understand the emotion within the heart of the man, you understand the work of the emotion with the plasma, you work for understanding the work of emotion with the gland of the man, then you see how we convert cosmic energy into our emotion, into our physicality, and how heart distributes this energy in the body of the man. I posted with you, Rick, if you want.
Just getting it into our chat here now. And
put it on the screen, people who are not on the chat.
Oh, okay, sure.
But I always thought it was the pineal gland where the soul sits, and you say it's the thyroid gland.
Thyroid gland is the converter of universal energy to material state of physicality of the man.
The pineal gland?
No.
The thyroid.
Thyroid. This is why it's there. The two energies are separate. That's his job. Because if you look at it, the way it sits, it's like a grab on the throat.
It's on your expression, sort of.
Yeah, but in a way, in the distance, is your central nervous system, your spine, which goes through, which takes the information from it. It's a plasmatic energy. It's not a physical energy transfer. You understand? This is the reason which is in that position.
Yeah.
There it is. Dear Parvis, listen to his sessions. It's amazing.
It is discovered about more than 40,000 nerve type cells inside our own heart, which are not related to the central nervous system. What are they doing there? Heart is the center of emotion. So that means that every time we experience any sort of emotion, this emotion is projected by those nerve type cells into the blood, which is the fluid running through the heart. And blood, as we know, is a line of emotion. So you feel something good or bad, positive or negative, is immediately imprinted into the blood and is distributed throughout your body constantly. So every cell feels the same. This proves that you are the creator of your life, because by being aware of the emotional experiences we go through, we could control the outcome of our life in the way that we really deserve it. All we need to do is to be conscious. In the previous video, I mentioned...
Now, Dr. Parvis explains this from a medical as a medical doctor. And in a scientific way, we understand how without any nervous system, our heart carries the emotion, because now it works through the gland which is above it. It's a cosmic ray connection. Does not need the wiring. It's the same way as we do the transmutation in our system of ONN. We use the physicality of the computer, but we actually transfer information energy through the cosmic ray development. The world of science enters a new cycle of understanding of its own existence. And then we'll see a lot of diseases, which we are used to, will not be there, because we know how to handle it through emotion. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much. It was very helpful and gives me a lot to think about.
Yep, it takes centuries to understand these things. You won't have it in minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here's a picture of the thyroid, so we have an understanding of where it's positioned and what it does.
You say the position of it is the air we breathe. It controls the energy side of the air, not the physical side of it. And exactly behind it sits your neck. And the same pipe as air is the pipe of the nervous system, your spinal cord. And it controls both. In the spinal cord, the way it's positioned, if I was creator, I'd put this gland behind the throat, not in front of it. It gives it a lot of immunity from problems, and I would have make it in a shape of an 8, that one side of it sits with the spinal cord and one side of it sits with the breathing pipes. There's a lot of reasons for this. I think God needs a modification on human race bodies to create a perfect man. And then you can convert a lot of energies of the universe directly into the structure of the spine of the man in neurosystem, non-neurosystem operation, and where it sits, it can control full conversion of the universal energy into what we call matter energy. It's one of the most important glands, but if you take it out because it's in Gans condition, its work, its integrity of its operation, even without being there, will do, because it's made its map. And everything is already connected to it. Physicality is just, it actually is irrelevant in many ways. Any other question?
Okay, we have a hand up with Marinez here, and we can go to her now. We have a couple of other questions in the Q&A here, if you have time.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Marinez.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Rick. Hello, Mr. Cash. Thank you very much for all these teachings and all you do to help us. Just in the beginning of your teaching today, you talked about the inertia of the cosmic rays and the gravitational. I was waiting that you say gravitational and magnetical, because I was understanding that on the Earth, its inertia is the outcome of all the gravitational and magnetical forces in each place.
I think we are educated enough, manager. I think we are educated.
If there is also magnetical for inertia of the cosmic rays.
I think we are educated to understand the difference where it applies to one or is it applies both ways. Sometimes I use the term of gravitational, which means he absorbs the energy to convert, not necessarily gives the same out. in the world of plasma technology, we take, I put it to you another way. When you run a system, it has an efficiency. You put 100% in, but you get 90% out. You put 100% fuel, but you get 90% efficiency of mechanical output for it. The same thing applies for the receiving energy and rejecting energy. It's not the same. So when it's gravitational, you receive higher order energy all the time. But as the fields move, change position from coming in to go back out, in the tightness of the center of the plasma, they interact. There is a light, there is an emission, there is a loss. This is why the magnetical field is always weaker than gravitational field. Depends on this environment where it comes out and how it's positioned. So when we speak about gravitational, it means taking up the higher order energies. And you have as knowledge seekers by now to understand which one is which and why we use the magnetical or gravitational in different terminology or both together. You need energies to be able to convert after consumption, after the mechanical running of the system. This is why we have the world of creation. Reflection of the energies deflects, loses energy, gains together, creates more energy, and all common denominator is the same. If you look at it, we take a copper and we make gold out of it. Because we have learned the technology to amalgamate, bring the gravitationally heavy field that in inertial matter state becomes the heavier matter. We don't mix it to become the heavy matter of gold. We mix the collection of the energies to be balanced with the gold, and then we create a dimension of the gold that manifests itself as gold. This is the way it works. We cannot change it. So when we use the terminology of gravitational, it means to be absorbed. It's coming to us and as a higher order. And then you understand why I use sometimes magnetical or gravitational independently. Am I clear? Hello, Mahrez, are you still there?
Your microphone.
I'm sorry. I'm talking. Yes, thank you very much. Does cosmic ray penetrate everywhere?
According to the density of inertia, yes, but depends. In the world of science today, they are putting buckets, hundreds of thousands of meters in the center of the Earth to find that elusive, ray, where it converts to a photon. But it happens in the eye of the astronauts as they are in the space. They don't need to go to find that, neutrinos. Neutrinos happens according to the salinity of the eye of the astronauts. And they are, you know what we say, ab dar kuzavuda dore dahan teshtemi gashtem? This is the story we have a saying Farsi. The water is in the pot, and I'm looking for water all over the world. And the pot is in my hand. The scientists are looking for these neutrinos, but it shows the lack of understanding of the knowledge. And then you go to reports from all astronauts, they talk about flashes in their eyes from energies, from the space. That's the neutrino. But if you take the salinity of the eye of the man, put it in a tank, you will see all the, neutrinos you want to see in the world. But our scientists don't understand. I was talking about this a few days ago with the, what do you call it, legal team of the Keshe Foundation. We were on the discussion table at early 2000. The NASA had this problem of, I explained this before, why the astronauts get this light in their eyes. And the job was given to a professor at Washington University, which I explained to the professor what it is. And then they said they've solved the problem of flashing lights in the eye of the, what do you call it, astronauts, why they see these flashes, like somebody taking pictures of them. And it's actually the neutrino which manifests as a flash of light. We have it, but we're going, because of our lack of knowledge and a lot of money to spend money, waste time, we go and put the waters, pure waters, at the bottom of the caves and in center of the earth to see one flash of light. Do you know how many billions of dollars has been spent on this, tracking the neutrinos, and the astronauts track it every time they're in the space? All you need to do, take the salinity of the eye of the man, the right composition, you'll have neutrinos flashing in your eyes day and night. You don't need to go there. It's the lack of understanding, it's the stupidity of the science today.
Thank you very much. And thank you for caring about the future of humanity, about the necessity of peace and not wars. And this introduction belonged to 10 years ago. And if at the time we knew how to give from our souls, from our emotions, to pray for the people who make wars, maybe today we were more advanced and maybe we were already in space. But at the time, we didn't know how to use our souls to give to people instead of sending them bad things and cursing. We can raise their soul that they become peaceful. So in a way, we lost 10 years because we didn't know where to see again, like scientists. We don't know where to see. We are not humble enough to see in the little things the true values. So I thank you again, and I thank Rick for this introduction, which was really on time. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Very much. Thank you indeed. We have to understand the science of creation in its totality, not just what it suits us. And this is the problem. And how we change this position is upon us to understand the true work of the life. And understand we live in two states of physical inertia matter and physical inertia energy. Then we can convert. We can decide the conversion. It's the same energy once it arrives in the gland. It's the gland which has the inertia of the emotion which adds to it, and then it becomes the physical matter of the body of the man using the lymph. In a way, as I said in the teaching last week, the lymph is the cosmos field, but in the body of the man, we can see it, but in the cosmos it's the same soul as our lymph. That lymph carries the emotion of the man and becomes a cancer cell in the position. And then it's the same with the emotion of the creator, using the cosmic rays to reach the soul of the man to manifest his beauty. It's man to understand the situation.
So can we, by using the right field and emotion in our soul, create the grain of changing in physicality?
This is part of the Keshe Foundation cosmic ray packages, which is going to be added, hopefully, in the future to these antennas. the way we now send the frequency of the voice. You know, when you when you talk somebody on the phone, and in other part of the world there isn't your voice, it's not just them. Your voice has penetrated the whole world with this antenna or this message you send, and where there is a right matching inertia converts to the voice and the person hears your voice. Now we can do the same thing with the energy of emotion. And if you understand the implication of it, if I'm not using that mobile phone, I still receive the energy, but I can't convert it. You understand? I don't have the right number to convert, but I still receive the same energy. So in a very near future, when we start transmitting the energy of peace, energy of love, using the 10,000 on ends, then you see the whole humanity changes. I remember I'm sure some of you remember, we had this group, this old lady in Shenzhen, who used to go around and put gas waters in the ocean, in the sea. She used to do that. I think she still does it. She's alive. Every Sunday she goes and puts it in the sea. This is what we do now with the cosmic ray, which we can transmit through our system. We keep on putting it, and we change the people. We don't wait for you to eat. We know the, what do you call it, the field strength of the plasma of love and peace. Once we get this 10,000 units transferred, covering the whole of the planet, I wish some of you knowledge seekers, or we have to do it, we'll put these in a sealed, airtight pack and dump them in the oceans. Hundreds of them in the oceans. That we cover the whole of this planet. We put them on our highest points on this planet and let it transmit. You go for, God knows, to Himalaya, to go on the top of the Everest, drop 2-3 boxes there. We cover the whole of the planet. It emits, and the field will cover all of us. Doesn't have a number. It's our soul which changes it to peace. I'm not a dreamer, but I know the science. We just need to mature our scientists to be able to complete the process.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you very much. I go back again to our knowledge seekers in China, and I don't know if you can do the other part of it. You can support the Keshe Foundation by buying cash coins and receive agricultural products starting from next week or so in China. We package it, let us to evaluate. But the initial packages will not be 100% GANs because we're changing an existing system to a new system. Next, maybe 3-4 weeks, then it'll be totally all your products you buy from us is 100% developed through the GANs technology as a first part. This will allow us to rapidly invest in the further researches and developments and bring a cash coin to be part of. We don't want you to pay us in yuan in China. You buy from the Keshe Foundation through the structure we set up as a cash coin to bring it to be how we pay locally or which other scientists we pay in other part of the world to ship the good for us becomes a part of the Keshe Foundation work. But you can buy cash coin and through it start purchasing your goods. In China, agricultural goods. Very soon, waters of the Keshe Foundation and other systems. And then in the next year or so, we develop this internationally around the world, and other knowledge seekers can join us in this shop of the Keshe Foundation through the, what do we call, the Enlightenment Game. Any other question?
Okay, thank you for that. Let's see. We have a question in our Q&A from China John. Has Iran developed plasma shield technology?
Don't ask me that question because this is something I have a very big grudge at the moment with the Iranian officials. Where is the plasma technology which you tell us you've developed? You show it, but they don't use it. But sometimes our own word becomes our own trap. I was told you signed it to us that we use it for peaceful application. You allow us, we'll use it to destroy. What is your answer? Have they developed it? Or are they keeping to their ethos? It's a knife, we cut both ways. Have they developed it? Or is it an excuse? They have shown the UFOs. 2 UFOs has been shown over Tel Aviv. And why don't they operate? What is holding it back? Or is Iran Sepah sitting on technology which they keep on talking and they haven't shown it? As I said, the Iranian military is exactly like the Iranian girls. They like to tease, they push away with the hand and they pull under the table with the leg. And we were waiting to see what they show. This discussion I had many times in the past few weeks with the officials and I don't get an answer. But they told me it's going to be shown on Wednesday. And I said, what happened to the Wednesday? That Wednesday hasn't come yet. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. From Swetoslav says, good day, everyone. Hello, Mr. Kesh. I have 2 questions. Can you explain parallel realities? The transmutation that you teach us is entering a different reality. Our soul came to earth with predetermined experiences with the idea of experiencing a certain path. How can we understand which events are according to the idea of the soul or the physicality? Thank you very much.
It's more or less individual packages. And I was talking about this last few days. The question was, do all the souls leave the earth? They are positioned. Would some come find a place here because their magnetic field or field of strength matches the earth? And would they appear in a dog or a human? It's possible. Doesn't mean that every soul becomes a star and transfers its knowledge, his beauty. If it's as a field of strength which matches the earth, is it reincarnation? Is it the return of the same soul? Or does it happen? It is possible. If the minute you say no to everything, you have started the barrier of rejecting a lot of reality. It's possible. Doesn't mean that your soul is, maybe you've been so bad that the soul has, the energy field has locked into or you've been so good and you enjoy this planet so much that it comes back. There is a historical, 2 or 3 historical events in the past 20, 30 years, which we cannot explain. Is it through the soul, or is the knowledge has come through the genes and now converts into information? There's a few of them. There's one canon guy. There is one to do with the what do you call it? One of the passages in Egypt, in the pyramid, where a boy was taken because he was saying he showed new passages which they didn't even know to them was a stone. He could read, he touched in the right position, and they say, we don't know the reality of it, but he showed a new passage because he come from that time. And a new pharaoh was found in the grave. But how true it is, we do not know if the history is correct. But regarding the man who explained to how to fire a cannon from hundreds of years ago, nobody knew. I was present, so I listened while he went through it. And he was tested and he was correct. It was done live on a radio called Capital Radio in London 40 years ago. And he gave there just by accident, he came to that position, and they went and they tested what he was telling us on the radio, and they said, yes, it works. Is it the soul, or is it the information part of DNA, RNA is transferred? We have to be very open about these things. As I was talking to a friend of mine a few days ago, it's the crucifixion of Christ last week, 2 weeks ago. What happened? How? There's a lot of understanding about transfer of energy, manifestation, inertia, and the composition. Why did he appear in the cave a few meters away from where he was put on the cross? Why didn't he appear in another cave in another part of the world, say, I'm Christ from the other part of the world? And then if you're Orthodox or if you're Catholic, and the guy got himself hung twice, once in the Catholic week and next Friday in the, what do you call it, in the Orthodox church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hello, what did you say, Rick?
Yeah, Orthodox, I was trying
to... Orthodox, yeah. The guy was so foolish, he got himself hung twice in 1 week. If you think of it, the way they split the religion. So this is the way it comes, because the what do you call, the Armenians and the Iranian Orthodox Christians celebrate Easter the weekend before past, and the Catholics did the Easter before. We have a Good Friday, which is most sacred day. They close everything in Europe. Nobody can work. And then you leave him alone. The next week he comes in the Orthodox side. He gets himself hung again. It's a very funny situation if you think of it. But why did he manifest himself a few meters away and not in another cave, in another part of the world? Would they accept him as if he just came out of the cave? Or was it there for the eye of those nearby because they knew who it is, and they have to accept the new face of him to move it? Any other question?
Okay, thank you. Ike has a question in our Q&A here. It says, please explain the scientific or plasmatic explanation of incorruptibility, as in religious terms, the preservation, or that word mummification, as it relates to inertia of souls you mentioned, when one dies and leaves the body behind or intact.
What do you mean?
I think he wants to know about inertia in terms of what happens when the body is left behind as in a mummy process. There's no...
It's just a physicality. Soul is long gone. Bye-bye. It's like, you know, when you go to, or when you used to go to Moscow, you could go and see the head of Lenin. The rest of the body is gone. They just put his face in the chemicals and could see his head. Everything inside or whatever, we don't know. But is that the man, the face we know? Or the soul is still there because they kept the brain? Or has the soul toot on someone else? It's the same. That's just the state of physicality, because that has nothing to do with the dimension of the soul. The minute the field pressure of the blood drops in the body to the point of no return, you're already gone. And doesn't matter what physical movements you make after death. I don't know if it's not the case, I'm sure you're all aware, you know this. The ones you buried, they used to have what they call the last bell. When they buried them, they used to put a rope in the coffin that just in case if they wake up, the bed, and by accident they used to ring the bell. Somebody used to sit a couple of nights next to the graveyard. If the bell shakes, they used to start digging it out before he dies. But if you talk to the people who work in crematoriums, they burn the body, they see the bodies literally physically sitting up. When they put the body into the furnace to burn, they hear noises. The gases in the body, when it explodes, it goes through the vocal point and it gets it to vibrate, and as the body at the point of burn start talking, and they call it the death talks. And if you're to speak to the people who work in mortuaries, in crematoriums, they tell you this. They got used to it, and if you're the first time there, it scares the hell out of you that that is talking. But is it the talking or the physicality interaction has made the noises and everything and the standing up? The soul has already left. It's a physical reaction. You have to understand this. Mummify us, burn us, bury us, put us in the space. I'm waiting for a phenomenon what I call a space grave, that when would somebody come up with this clever idea that we make you immortal, they wrap you, and in the future program, most probably Mr. Moss will do it for us, will throw us in a space, and the space will come out graveyard. We float the span of the universe. The question is, would our physicality one day come to the point where our soul established a life and say, oh, this is the body I used to be in? I think one step further, then you see it becomes very funny. Now can we put the genie back in the box? Put the soul back in the physicality which created it, now is a creator of another galaxy, a star or whatever. Because they know each other.
Okay. Brett had a question about, he says, I have to build a special maggrav to use the ingredients in my paper. This paper is about amino acids. Would these be available in the future?
What?
He says, I have to build a special maggrav to use the ingredients in my paper. That is amino acids. So I guess I'm not sure what he's specifically referring to.
That's typical Brett, isn't it?
Brett, if you're here, you can put your hand up there. Let us know. I can allow you to talk if you can explain a little bit about that.
I'm here. I'm always here. Hello.
Yes, hi, we hear you.
Yeah, good. No, well, I wrote my paper about the amino acids. What I'm asking is it possible to grow those ingredients that are in the paper?
Which paper?
The paper that I wrote about the amino acids.
I'm not with you.
Okay. Rick, you know that I wrote a paper about, Jalal even knows about it. It was a paper about all the ingredients of the amino acid structures.
We reviewed it in one of the workshops, Mr. Kesh, and you were saying that it kind of missed the point and so on.
Anyway,
go ahead.
I'm happy to just float it again, and then we go from there. It's all good.
I can't recall.
It's okay. Yeah.
I do apologize. I can't recall.
That's okay.
It's also the age.
We'll speak about it in a few weeks. I'll float it again, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thanks, mate.
Doug has a question. What is the difference between veggies eaten and grown in Gansas and those not, specifically in regard to killing souls? Well, you've talked about rice. Each grain of rice is like one soul compared to...
I understand. Yeah. It's still the same. It's still the same. But as we say, we are in the same position till we transfer the things to energy. We are growing a structure that maybe in a few months, maybe in a few years, that we can extract a piece of what we call balance energy field in, let's say, a lettuce or an apple, that we can transfer that everyone who wants a lettuce can go to it and use its field energy. It needs a lot of things because you have, this is something we set up. This is one of the reasons we started a massive herbal trials to create a perfect herb, that it has a perfect result, that we create a seed which is perfect of any contamination. Then we can use that seed to be able to transfer the energies. If the seed we carry has got chemicals, which is common, or genetic modification, we transfer that energy of modification and the chemical to you. This is one of the reasons we are going in this depth of developing. They say, oh, is a bio. No, it's plasmatic, it's gas probe. It's not just gas. The gas material we use in agriculture, it's nowhere near what you could ever imagine can be used. Nowhere near. It's not the CO2 ones that you use. But to do that, we have to even bring the right emotion to the plant. Then we can use the seed of that plant to, when it's in the perfect condition, to create the gases that we can use as energy for transmutation. If you use just now they say it's a bio tomato and use its seed and make it GANs and transmute it, that bio has a genetic modification in it. What we don't know is ancestors. We don't know what that chemical used in it before in the seed's previous stage as a fruit. And this is what we are striving to do now in our research laboratory. It's the stage where we control everything, naturally control as energy, and what we can transfer, that we can use the seed in the next generation. In a way, you have these seeds which are genetically modified. We are using plasma purified technology. We purify the seed to get a seed that then we can use it, the GANs of it, to be able to transmit without causing anything else in the emotion, that your body only receives that energy and not the energy of the poison of it. It's not the way you think. It's not that easy. And the process now already is in development. We own the agriculture. It's not somebody else's that we have to believe them. We've gone to the stage that we control from A to Z of it, especially in the next generation. Because the first generation, we had to buy seeds, which we don't know what's their outcome. But grown in the plasmatic condition, through our structure, the next generation will be more purified. And then we can use in the next cycle the seeds which are the next generation, and then maybe the third generation we reach the purity we want, that we can make gases that we can put in our antennas. It's not just give you an apple. What do you do if it's apple genetically modified, the plant, and then I'll give you a genetically modified with the energies of modification, what's going to do to it? 3 kidneys and 2 heads. It's not that easy. No, you understand why we've gone into the process. We left this to the agricultural people to do it, and but now we literally control from day one. to the harvest, and then taking the harvest to regenerate the next cycle to be pure seeds and not modified seeds. That's how it's done, and that's how it's going to be done. There's no other way. We're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in developing this, and that's why I said if you're Chinese, the Chinese community now, who is the first community which can reach this product, you can buy 100% pure, grown, cosmic ray products from the Keshe Foundation in China. In the next few weeks, tomatoes, cucumbers, they carry the new emblem of the Keshe Foundation. Nobody can copy it. It's got copyright and everything else on it. And we control this. We are not there to sell the product. We are looking for the next generation of harvest of the seeds to get that pure energy modified system, or purified to its origin. We produce, I think, 30 or 50 kilo a day at the moment today. And then it reaches 2 tons in the next few months across different products. As I said to one of knowledge seekers, we don't waste a cent. We use everything possible and the way we operate. Next question. What we call the day, we are here nearly 2.5 hours.
Sure, yeah. We had a couple medical questions, but I referred them to our medical doctor's email. So
We call it a day.
sure, we can do that. We can wrap it up now.
Very much. Thank you very much. Don't forget, tomorrow there is no session. We try to fix it for the first day of the May. And if we manage, hopefully we'll have the system running by then. Then we do a session for addiction, and then we do a session for what you call the transmutation in May. So we'll have 2 sessions in May for it. And those of you who are Chinese, please support us to bring the use of the coins and the use of the products of the Keshe Foundation into the Chinese structure and then worldwide. Thank you very much, and see you next week.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Thank you. Well, another Knowledge Seekers workshop here, number 638 in a continuous weekly row. And today's is Thursday, April 16th, 2026. Thank you, everybody, for attending today's workshop. And we expect to be back same time and place next week for the 639th. You see our next public teaching workshop. Oops, let me get up my calendar here. That'll be on April 21st, will be the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, with the members and support members of the Universal Council, who will be presenting that program. And that starts at the 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time. And we look forward to that. It's open to the public, and people can experience some of the soul-based aspects of the the work of the Universal Council. All right, I've got a something from Lissy from speaking of the Universal Council, and let me share that. And it's an invitation. It goes, We, the Universal Council, invite the Kesh and Universal family present on the earth in unifying at the soul level every time, every day at 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time. We, the Universal Council, give freely from our souls and invite all of humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation, to work as one soul in one direction, to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race. Okay, thank you, Lissy, for that. And just about wraps up. I just wanted to show, before we go, we have show a background image of today's background, or an image of today's background image. And this is not AI for once. It is an actual picture from the Artemis mission to the moon, and taken from the orbit of the far side of the moon, and it's more or less an Earthrise, you could say, or an Earth set. I'm not sure if it's a rising or setting in that sense. In any case, a view of the Earth from the moon that hasn't been seen by humans before this way, although some spaceships have gone without humans. In any case, that was our background image for today. Go back. And we'll go out with our usual manner with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit. And thank you again, everybody, for being with us today. And see you in the next public teaching.
No, ja też dziękuję wszystkim. Do zobaczenia na przestrzeni i do następnego.